portal for online complaints against officers, 18 additional crisis intervention teams for the mentally ill, implementation of cite and release for most minor offenses, and officer training to eliminate implicit bias.
I'm someone who grew up in this city, someone who has grown up, for example, in communities that have been underserved. Yeah, this is a very, very important moment.
If the chief of police or police officers can't listen and hear the citizens and feel their hearts, we're not going to be successful.
The NAACP and even the Houston Police Officers Union voiced support for Turner's reforms. Question, will it be enough to at least begin mending the rift between police and a significant portion of the public they serve? I start with Charles Blaine.
Yeah, I think it's a solid start. Listen, I was critical last week because for all the lip service elected officials give to this being the hometown of George Floyd, they hadn't delivered. But I think this is a great start. But I really want to make sure we give credit to the folks who were behind this. I mean, I know we had the police commission created a year ago and all of that, but really this was the push from council members Edward Pollard, Tiffany Thomas, Martha Castex-Tatum, Carolyn Evans-Shabazz, and former council member Jerry Davis. But for them, I don't think we'd be seeing these reforms today. And one of the ones that I think we should also mention is the removal of credit score consideration from new hires for HPD, which I think is incredibly important. Is going to help diversify the pool of candidates that are accepted into the department. So I think it's a great start, and I'm looking forward to this coming before council.
Okay, Ms. Tamara Bell, you've been watching this process closely. What's your take?
Yeah, I'm glad to see them make a step. I really am. As someone who's been working and hoping that we would get to the point where we can have a citizens review committee along with subpoena power. That's what I was hoping for. We haven't gotten there yet, and I hope we get there. I know when they formed this oversight committee, I know they were trying to make sure that they were engaged and it was diverse and they included people, but just some of the general citizens who lead their communities who are out there and who've been involved, I would think that really would help if they had more people like that, because one of the things that Chief Lee Brown did so successfully when he was police was community policing. And I'm hoping with new Chief Troy Finner, we get back to that, because that is the only way it's going to work, is a great public-private partnership between the police and the people that they protect.
Chal, policing is a big part of what you do, trying to get protection to women. And I know as a journalist, you covered this department. What's your take on this slate of reforms?
Like, you're right. It is a big part because women and families who call the police, typically in our work, just want the violence to stop. And that mistrust begins when they're not treated well, when police officers show up without care and concern, or are not trauma-informed or client-centered, as we call it in our communities. Look, the police reform here stopped short of talking about defunding the police. You know, that language did not hit our communities. In the city of Houston, we are talking about what Tamara said, relational policing. We have got to get the community and our police officers, who are trying to do good work by and large, to work together. So I think this is a step in the right direction. I'm really excited about seeing an oversight committee put together by the mayor and appointed by the city council members to really touch on that community policing and relationship building, because that's what we need. We need the police to be trusted by the communities with which they work in.
Marcus, hopeful or skeptical?
Well, let me start by saying finally.